evening.
I'm editing.
Welcome.
Wow.
Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And we are on another side quest. Yes, we are here to talk about the latest in the Marvel universe, Sony affiliated project, Spider-Noir. And we are joined with a few of our friends, Mr. Anthony of the Talking Ish podcast, a podcast amongst friends. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank y'all for having me. As always, it's a pleasure and honor even.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us. And we also have our brother Chris, new to the podcast. We are now bringing you into the fold. Sir, how are you today?
I'm outstanding. I appreciate you. I'm Chris Fagan with the T3 Media Studios channel. And I thank you guys for having me on. Can't wait.
No, it's been a pleasure, man. Been a pleasure, man. But of course, like I said, we got into a new chapter into the Spider-Man franchise. Jazz, they have been doing a lot of different things over at Sony with the Spider-Man franchise. So how have you been feeling about, outside of course, the Across the Spideyverse universe, how have you been feeling about the Spider-Man villain universe that they have been doing?
Oh, are you referring to the live action movies that we've been getting that have
only talking about the live action
good and that are just been pretty terrible? Why are we talking about trash, Jason? This show is too good to be talking about trash in the first few minutes, man. Come on.
I think it's best to get it out the way.
It's true. It's just like, go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. I feel like Sony on their side, when it comes to their villains, I don't know what their disconnect is, because DC does a very good job focusing on their villains for side stories. But for some reason, Sony can't get it together, but they continue to make projects. And so a piece of me wants to feel like they're sabotaging Marvel MCU. But that's just me being,
10-4 hat.
You said what? Yes. I got the little Hershey's kiss at the top of the head. Like, they're doing it on purpose. But,
No, but you're right, though. They are.
And
they are,
because I think there's a requirement they have to make so many movies. It's like
they have to make a movie within 10 years, or the rights revert back to Marvel.
Every from what I remember, it was every 3.5 years.
Every 3.5?
Yeah, it's like 3.5.
Okay, because I know they updated the deal. Now that we're getting, brand new day and everything, they redid another deal. So I'm wondering if that also changed too. Because I thought it was that you had to make a movie at least within a 10-year spread, but I could be wrong. I just know they have to make a movie.
If you take the timeline it took between every reboot, between Toby to Andrew to Tom Holland, that gives you like an idea of what the timeline is.
Wait, no, it's not 10. It's not 10 between.
Each of them had 3 movies.
One of them had 2. Spider-Man. He said Spider-Man 3 to the Amazing Spider-Man. You're correct. It's not that. It's not that big of a gap.
It's within 3 years. It's within 2 or 3 years to be in production. Not that the movie has to be released, but within production of a new project.
Okay.
Otherwise, the rights will revert back. That's why they're releasing so many of these bad villain movies, because it technically restarts the clock. If that makes sense.
Got you. But I feel as if they rolled the dice in the right direction this time around. So there's no Peter Parker this time. We are following Ben Reilly of the 1930s. Definitely a different feel to Spider-Man, different origin, different backstory. So I think this was dope. I think my first introduction to this character, me personally, was of course in Across the Spider-Verse. Chris, I'm going to start with you, my brother. What was your introduction to Ben Reilly?
To Ben Reilly or to Spider-Noir? That's a loaded
question. Look at it, spot question. We're gonna go with Spider-Noir because you hit me with a real nerd question there.
I'm right there with you. I knew of Spider-Noir through the what was the name of that video game? It was
Web of Shadows.
Yes, Web of Shadows. That was my very first introduction to that character, and then into the Spider-Verses when I saw when I really dug it, and I really love that character. Yeah.
Got you, because I remember that there's a rapper named Ben Reilly as well, and I was like, he does this hero gimmick, but he's really good. He's really good at rapping too, though. So like, if you ever want to listen to a guy Ben Reilly, look him up.
Okay.
Anthony,
Okay.
what about you, my brother? What was your introduction to
The
this
book.
The only right answer.
The book.
The only answer I knew Anthony was gonna give us, like he's gonna be like, I had the book and it's right here, niggas. Read a book.
No, you know what? Sadly, it was one of the books that found its way to a Goodwill because it got thrown in a box that I didn't want to throw it in. But it's okay. Trade paperbacks are existing. I can always go back to the back issues. But I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed its first run. When they started to do more with it, I was pretty much I had left Spider-Man altogether, and I was in my X-Men run, going into my Flash run, going into my, oh, maybe I'm a DC person again. And that was a lie, although I did enjoy reading the Flash. But no, I was introduced to the character from the comic books, and whew, that first run was a doozy, And I think this is where, the show itself, it made me feel like I was reading that book again.
That's a good thing. I think that sounds like a good thing. So, Jazz, I'm gonna come back to you with this one. So, with this one, of course, it is set in the 1930s. And of course, they allowed it was made to be watched in the black and white, but of course, they did give you an option of both. Jazz, how did you choose to watch this show?
All right, so I'm assuming this is a safe space, even though Jason asked me this question first to judge me, so y'all can bully me. But I'm gonna stand 10 pretty toes down. So I did watch it originally in color. I did. And then I saw in the Discord where people that watch it in color first got bullied. And I said, well, damn, did I do it wrong? Obviously I did, because when I went around for my second, my rewatch, I watched it in black and white. And I've turned it on a few times just to have it playing in the background as I'm doing things around the home. And it's always been in black and white. I never went back to color. So this is the only time where I would probably choose black and white over color, because it just hit different in my opinion. But I will say a lot of the violent scenes, I did enjoy them in color. And I kind of wish they would have put the red red in the blood
in the black and white.
Similar to what you see for anybody like Sin City. Yes, exactly, like Sin City. I would have loved that. Sin City was fire.
I couldn't watch it because it's in black and white.
Oh, wow.
Let me ask y'all this, fellas. Does that make any sense to y'all if he couldn't watch Sin City in black and white, but you watch this in black and white? And a hint of, because when I watched this, I immediately thought of Sin City.
Sin City?
Yeah.
I mean, I did too, but
it makes sense he felt that way. I think because at the time Sin City came into theaters, unless you were diehard and you wanted that aesthetic for a comic book movie, you would have been, you were going to go see it. You were going to see Sin City. It's Frank Miller, and Robert Rodriguez directed it. So it was every, soon to be edgelord's wet dream of a film, of a comic film. So the aesthetic of it is it's going to be black and white. When Spider-Man Noir dropped, if I remember it right, they did a black and white version of the comic as well as a color version. But I think the color versions came later, because they really wanted to make a pulp, 1930s hard, pulpy detective comic, that Marvel used to do when they were timely comics. So, yeah, I could see why Jason was like, I ain't going to see no damn black and white Sin City.
Anthony, I'm not going to let you defend Jason and his antics tonight. I'm not going to let you do that.
I tried, Jason. I tried.
It's all good. It's all good. Chris, I'm going to come to you with this one. So, like I said, we do have trilogies of Spider-Man. So we do got the movies and, like I said, the hours. But we haven't really sat with a Spider-Man with this much intricacies, with Ben Reilly. How did you feel being able to actually sit in a show with Spider-Man as opposed to watching a film where it's just, I guess just one central story, as opposed to you get the background, you get the story, you get the villain. How did you feel with this story?
I don't know if this makes sense, but it kind of took me back to how I felt about when the Spider-Man animated series first came out. Like you get these movies that, this is before the first Spider-Man movie, obviously, but you get these movies, and then sometimes you'll get a series that might not be connected. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, and you can feel these differences. But when Spider-Man the animated series came out, it was the detail was there. It was those deep backstories. I mean, deeper than not upon rewatch, it's like deeper than a lot of people want to admit. Like, some topics were deeper than others, even though it was a kid series. I got that kind of a feel with this. Like me and my wife were just talking about it a minute ago. Like, there's so many directions it could go. There's so many possibilities. Like, for example, I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of any questions, but like, I didn't feel too much of a mystery. I know he's a detective, but I didn't get much of this wasn't really a mystery, like a who done it, murders in the building type of thing. But I feel like a season 2 could be that like a straight up mystery. Like, he has to put his detective skills to where, like, we need Ben Reilly more than Spider-Man type of a thing. Like, there's so many directions it can go. Just like that. And I keep going back to that animated series where a lot in the later episodes, it just went crazy. And I feel like this has a lot of potential. So I'm so used to all these Spider-Man movies where it's just one and done. Okay, we got the villain, we got the story, we got boom, boom, boom. But this is like, Amazon has potential to go nuts with this and really make something good happen here. Just hope they don't screw it up. But
I don't think they will. But also, I think it would be dependent more so upon the writers if they want to continue with this series. I did hear it costs about 50 million an episode. Ooh. Don't know if that's true or not, but at 50 million an episode, I don't see them giving us a whole bunch unless this was to change something in Amazon, which has been number one since it's been out over there. So it's driving people to the actual platform, but is it profitable on that platform? That'll be interesting to see. What you got, Jazz?
So I was going to say, because now correct me if I'm wrong, because I did see this past week to where somebody said that this season had a lot of reshoots.
It did,
which could have possibly driven up the cost of it to where if you go into season 2 and you do not have to worry about reshoots to the magnitude that you had it for this season, that could definitely bring the cost down. Now, you said 50 mil an episode,
400 million at the end.
Yeah, like that's a lot. Woo, damn! Like, y'all just okay, I'm not a pocket watcher, but I guess there are areas to where you could cut costs. And I would assume with them still having pieces from the original set, bring that back on to the season 2 to where you're not starting fresh, so, and Chris, I definitely agree with you to where that would be interesting to see if we do get a season 2 to where he's doing more PI work and the Spider-Man, like him being that hero is kind of like on the back seat a little bit because in this season it's kind of like he was trying to build up his confidence and get out of the flow of I don't want to be a hero, I'm just doing this for vibes and actually doing something for the people, because he said I'm just doing this for the thrill for real, which I get that. I absolutely love Nicolas Cage in this because listen,
he definitely fits that vibe a lot. The quips, just the silliness. But I was gonna actually come to you, Jazz, with, so of course, like I said, we talked about Ben already, but we also got 5 different villains within maybe 6. There was a lot of villains in this story.
Do you consider Cat a villain?
I was just about to say,
Grace is a villain. Grace is a damn villain.
Yes.
Is that Grace from Sinners?
That's Grace. Yes.
Yeah. The same damn thing.
And
She
them
might as
two,
well have
and
told
them,
Silvermane, "Come on in." Yeah. No, okay, I'm
and
sorry. I
them,
was about to. Never mind.
and them two slaps
Not
that she
invite the demon.
received, and them two slaps she received, them from us. Them from us.
Yes.
For letting them people in. Don't let nobody in this house. Mama told us as a kid, don't let nobody in that door, not even
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my good. It be your own people.
And she done let shit, boy. You know what? Let me get back to it. Back to you, Jazz. Back to you, Jazz. All right.
That means she done played a villain in 2 different projects
Done played my boy Ben.
years.
Yeah.
Done played my boy Ben.
But her
In the 30s.
does her damn it, Anthony. But does
You're
her
welcome.
reasoning let you like empathize with her decision making?
No, I don't empathize none of that. None of that. No.
So love is not a good reason to double.
It is interesting that
she
she's been put as an actress. She's been put in this situation twice now.
Yes.
and it's
I mean,
because
it's
she
love
did
for
it
her
for
children
somebody
and
that
love
she
for her man.
loves.
But I'm saying to
Wow.
fake out another man, sell out a man for your man.
Oh.
That's crazy.
But hold on, but Jason, this is how you have to look at that situation. She put her husband before her side nigga. Everybody would want that woman to do that for real if they was the husband.
She ain't married to
She
Marco.
wasn't married.
She ain't married to Marco.
No, but hold on, y'all. That's my example scenario because that's how much she loved him. Is as if that was her husband. She said, "I want to give this all up for you," and then she had the side nigga Ben, but
Until Ben win the lottery or something, right? No, no.
Ben was giving up everything for her, and he said, "Janet, I know we only been talking for a few weeks, but I love her." And I'm like, "Ben, stand up! You a whole superhero out here. Like, what you doing?"
She was so
Got the
toxic
speed
too.
and
She was as toxic as Lois Lane. Cause why are you jumping out of windows?
Nah, I love that.
I bet you do.
Not
You toxic too.
Not Lois.
I didn't love that she did it. I love that they put it in the show because I said,
I thought that he was gonna say I forgot Zazie Beetz' character from Invincible season 1. I remember having conversations about I thought that's what you were gonna say, but you said Lois Lane. I
No,
was like,
justice
whoa.
for Amber, Chris. Justice for Amber. No, Jason hit the nail on the head. Lois is a toxic woman. She's a very toxic woman. She has put herself on the line knowing that her Kryptonian super nigga is going to come and save her. That's why she talk a lot of shit. She talk top shit. What you going to do, bitch? You can't shoot me. I'm Lois motherfucking Lane. I am the chief head reporter of the Daily Planet. And then when you put a gun to her face, she just whisper, "Come get me, you big motherfucker." And then red and blue streak. I told you, nigga. I'm real about that.
Does it make me toxic? If I was dating Superman, I would also have that same type of energy.
Yes.
Yes, it makes you toxic. Yes, they don't change the scenario at all.
He's trying to save a bus full of children, and your toxic ass want to start a fight with some kind of despot from another country. That's your fault. You should get shot
Anthony,
in your pinky toe.
You've known me long enough. Which
I do
group am I a part of for real?
Toxicity is your city.
Fuck them kids. God.
Oh, again, toxicity is the city that you dwell in. You are you off. You off kilter. You off brand. You just off.
But look,
so sad.
This is what I'm about to say. So, like I said, we have a plethora of villains. Basically his whole cabinet in this season, Jazz. But then these villains, what did you think of the villains that we received in this story?
So my favorite one, I would definitely say was what's my dude name? Because he was Lonnie.
And Tombstone.
I looked to see who he was because he was also in My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because of his voice or his height or both.
You said a big black man, and you was like, yes.
No. Hold on, Jason. A big black chocolate man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she watching black and white. She wouldn't know that.
It's seen.
But that's why I watched it in color first. You're not getting me. But no, I definitely enjoy his character, and just to see, like with Flint, because I was like, when they were saying the names, I said, "Oh, so this is how they're interpreting those villains in this story." And I mean, essentially, this series is pretty much a story of tragedy, betrayal, and dry skin. And so Chris, don't look like that. You know you saw Sandman face and he had them dry
They
skin
needed some
patches.
Lubriderm. Is that what you trying? Like,
If
Lubriderm might add some shea
if there
butter.
would have been an ashy joke in there, I'd have died. I would have lost it. I would have
And it would
lost
have
it.
came, and it would have came from Robbie.
it
Yeah.
would have had to come from him.
Oh, it would have. Yeah,
It would have had
yeah.
to.
He'd been the only one to deliver that.
Why
And
he
It was
asked?
ashy there, brother.
I appreciate Robbie's character a lot.
Yeah.
And I do love that that role is for a black person as well.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you have colorblind castings in Zendaya, but in this role,
Whoa. We're not doing that. We not throwing, don't throw no shade at Zay. Don't do that. When I'm right here.
I love Z. I love her, but I do appreciate this role. His role as well as Lonnie's role are for black people because they were talking about their black plight in this situation, but also Addison's wife. She even threw in, I said, this is kind of crazy. She goes and says, I should just say as a black man in my room and we see how you handle it then. I was like, Jesus Christ. Come on, Spider-Man.
I'm gonna say when episode, I don't know if it was by episode 1 or episode 2, the thought popped into my head. I was wondering how this universe was going to be set up. Is this a world where black people and white people they're like we don't see color kind of a thing? Everybody, a black man could have the executive job and stuff. And as much as I was thinking about that, I wasn't getting a straight answer. And then all the answer was right there literally on the wall, whites only. And I was like,
whites
okay,
only.
so we in the 30s. Okay, the 30s.
Yeah,
he had to go to the back. He had to go to the back through a lot of them places where he was getting, which was dope. I do love the way that he was maneuvering in here. So, well, I'm gonna go to you, Anthony. What did you think of Robbie's character and how he was maneuvering in this universe? Well, in New York in the 30s.
Oh man, very, very on point. I actually like the fact that Robbie is a journalist first. It's kind of weird. He's a journalist first and a black man second, and they can be easily interchangeable in order to get the story. And he's not afraid to use that ability to change like a chameleon on, when it's needed. It reminded me more of the later versions of Robbie in the comic books, where he's not just there going, okay, well, Pete, get some more pictures. J. Jonah will make sure to pay you. They really gave Robbie more substance on who he is and how he really is. He really runs the Daily Bugle. J. Jonah Jameson is just there looking cute with his cigar, and he likes to yell. But Robbie is the heart and soul of the Daily Bugle. So the way Lemoyne is Lemoyne Morris, right? Yeah. I thought he played from New Girl. He played it spectacularly well. I didn't know, like Chris. I thought it would have been just blacks and whites all together, just living. And then I went, well, that's cue that gospel music, cue them spiritual hums. There's that white only sign. And then when, like you said, Addison's wife caught that. Well, I could just call the cops and say there's a big black man in my room. I said, throw the bitch out the window and let's keep it moving. But I'm glad it was very subtle until that moment. Yeah. And it was really only that one moment until he went to Harlem. And then you see Hoover City. And that's when you go, yeah, in this universe, the depression does exist. And while it did hit white folks hard as a brick, it hit us like a wrecking ball, especially if you lived in, New York City, major metropolitan areas. Here in the South, everybody was living on farms, or in the country. So you knew how to fend for yourself. But it was well done. I thought Lemoyne Morris did a wonderful job as Robbie. Gotcha. And the fact they went with his first name, Joe Robbie Robinson, I said, yes, indeed. That's a black man. Hallelujah.
So Chris,
it did him right.
What did you think of Spider-Man's abilities in this? Because I was curious if every Spider-Man was the same or similar, what the differences were. But we know Miles and Peter are different. So seeing Ben was very interesting to me. But what do you think about his abilities?
I felt like it answered in a subtle way, maybe it answered a question that I had in the back of my mind. I mean, in my heart, I was like, this is the same exact Spider-Man or Spider-Noir character we write maybe between the first and the second animated movie from Enter and Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's whether they're calling him Ben or Peter. I'm still in my head. I'm like, it's the same guy. This is taking place between both of those movies. That's just my in my heart. But then even when Ben Reilly showed his extraordinary strength and did all these amazing, I mean, to even web sling like that would snap your arm off, right? You got to have a lot of strength. But it felt like, is he as strong as all the others? I felt like this version of him was not as strong as the typical, the stereotypical Spider-Man. Like definitely not like he was in the animated series. So that question kept popping up in my head. I mean, even when you see him kick somebody and he go flying way out there, I was like, yeah, okay, maybe he is pulling his punches, but I don't know if if he went toe to toe with Toby. I don't think he
Right.
gonna hold up at all. But I don't know. That little thing kept popping in my head. But real quick on your last question, as far as the topic of the segregated South and the black and white, I feel like Amazon was trying to be cute with the whole segregation of, do you want to watch this with the colored folks or do you want to watch it with the black and white folks? Even that was a subtle way of
Chris, you see
white
where I
only
chose,
colored
right?
off.
You see where I chose, right? We
Oh
see
my
who's the
goodness.
ally here and
Well, let me
who's
Striving in
not.
technicolor.
well
No.
let me come back into
Oh,
color
oh,
then.
oh! Now Jason, like, well, Juneteenth is this month, so let me make
Oh
sure
man.
that my fellow blacks know I'm with them. Nah,
So
he's over here.
basically, do you want to watch it with the colors or the dark age?
Yeah.
Make it known.
Right,
How do you
That
want
was,
it?
but yeah, that was the
Chris?
only question that was also popping in my head about
Yeah.
this version of Ben, like his strength and I mean his strength and his abilities fit with this world perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
because it was a struggle a lot of times, and he was overwhelmed a lot of times, and then the psychological part of it, where just like what happened with Toby, with him, his powers being lost, that was awesome as far as him figuring out how to get over that. So. But I just kept asking myself, I think I saw you nod your head or shake your head, no, that no, he's not as strong as he kind
So
of, I don't know,
and
should
so
be.
to in my personal opinion, it didn't seem as if he was
Mm-hmm.
as strong. Is he? I mean, what's your take on that, Anthony?
It,
He didn't seem as strong to me because he ain't pick up shit.
no, he didn't. Okay, he does have the proportionate strength and speed of a spider, right?
Yeah.
So they add now
A
some
black
of the
spider or a
things.
white spider? No, I'm sorry. I'm just
A very oppressed spider.
A
Let's
Great
put it like
Depression
that.
spider.
A Great Depression spider.
He's like, why I get bit
Now,
by the black spider?
but also they did play to the strengths of, it's in the 1930s,
Mm.
so you're not gonna have these very elaborate, springy, jumping all over kind of fights. It was very the fight choreography, which I actually enjoyed, really remind me of watching those old detective films where you see them almost like taking a punch and telegraphing it. Yeah, exactly. Put them up, fisticuffs, and they're telegraphing it. And when it lands, whoever got hit, they're flailing all over because the punch is supposed to be so hard.
Mm.
Y'all also realize he has the organic webbing,
Yeah,
just
I
like
hate
Toby.
I hate that shit. That shit
But
looks
I
so
there's a
love
nasty.
it.
reason. Ben is not a technical nerd. He doesn't have that thought process to build web shooters. So they went with the organic webbing. Some say it's lazy, but for
It's
this,
not.
it makes sense. It's
It makes
It
not.
makes
sense
sense.
for this.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
So with that, Jazz,
But he
what
is
did
strong.
what did you think of his backstory? Of how he
Ooh.
became Spider-Man. What did you think of how that scene in France went?
Ooh. So I was trying to figure out how to prepare to talk about this scene, and I'm going to try to use my words carefully.
You liked it in
So,
color or black and white?
so I'm going to be honest. When I started watching this, I
Mhm.
accidentally fell asleep and then woke up, and I
Terrible.
missed like 2 to 3
Uh-huh.
episodes. So when I was watching it in color, so there are scenes that I'm glad I did not see in
Mm.
color, but I'm not gonna
I text you.
elaborate. Yeah. So I thought his backstory was so unique and creative, and I was just like, oh shit, like he had a whole half mutated person that was
Hmm.
had a like spider lower half that bit him. Now I ain't gonna lie, that was a jump scare. For anybody who that was a jump scare in black and white. So
Uh-huh.
I know in color,
Phantom of the Opera,
oh
like, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, what is happening? But I asked, like, I was just like, oh wow. Like it made me more fascinated with his character because of course we've seen Spider-Man get bit by the spider on his arm and stuff like that. But for him to be a soldier dealing
Hmm.
with camps of soldiers having tests ran on them, and I don't know about y'all, but I immediately went to this Tuskegee Airmen, like
Mm.
that
The
test
Tuskegee
Say,
Airmen.
hold on, wait, say it again.
yes. Fuck you, Jason. So
The
you made
the,
me mess up my
the
thought because you wanted to be an asshole. So I immediately went there because you
Hmm.
had soldiers having tests ran on them,
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
you
Right.
know, and I was just sitting here like, did y'all mean to put like, is this a message y'all were trying to send? Or maybe I'm just, my third eye was just on. Cause I was just like,
It's
sometimes
a
they come
little
on,
bit of both.
Anthony. I don't know.
No,
So
no, no.
and
When
I
It's
we
a
was
little
got
bit
looking
that
at,
flashback, who was he telling the story to? I can't remember. Was he telling that story
To
he was
Grace.
telling the
to
cat.
Grace.
Crap? Okay, because
And you
when you
see, he got me calling this woman Grace. It's
That's why I'm
Cat
sitting here
Hardy.
like people are gonna be listening, like, who's Grace? They're gonna look up
Grace.
the IMDb. Oh, that bitch.
The
It's like
betrayer.
Baby, she let
right.
him in. Who?
But
Grace.
also, Jazz, you hit the nail on the head. But those play on what was supposedly the German experiments that they ran
hmm
during World War II. But
yeah.
there's also been, I don't know if it's conspiracy or if it's been proven, there were also experiments in World War One. But that was more about mustard gas and things of that nature. What the effects of mustard gas would do to the human body,
Mm.
because World War One is where chemical warfare
Right.
becomes, known to the mass, to the world.
Ooh.
So I thought that was a very good play on
Yeah.
it's not about radioactive spider. It's
Mhm.
actual, we're gonna do genetics, cross, cross genetics.
Military
And
government experimentations. Yeah.
right.
Right. You
And we
getting
get
like
to see a 1930s man spider. I was
you getting
happy with that.
outside insects. Put like I'm like, you got a snake over here, spider over here. I'm like,
Mm.
goodness
Eel.
gracious.
I mean,
Right. I
I'm
Yes.
was
trying to see how they was managed to get the blood of that box of sand and make old dude. I don't know how they did that. Like I'm still trying to
Chris.
figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's because he didn't have lotion. That's
Yeah,
what it
they just
was.
got.
Dry skin. Dry skin. That's why he said, look, Cat, I can't be with you because the way my skin is set up,
I
I
got
can't
The
hold you
eczema.
like
experiment
I
wouldn't have
want to.
worked on any of the Negroes. There was too much cocoa butter in their system.
But I do want to go back because when we were talking about Spider-Man and just his abilities, if he's as strong as other Spider-Man that we see in different projects. Jason, I wanted to ask you, with looking at this story and Ben's character, obviously we see he's not really considering himself as a hero. He seemed like somebody after a major event happened, he's just like, I'm done with being a spider, to where it kind of reminded me of Logan, to where you have a
Mm.
hero that's like, I guess for him, he's like, past my prime. I'm no longer trying to do the superhero thing. I'm trying to live
Mhm.
my life and be out of that. But then in this, as we see also, he's being dragged into it. So
Mm-hmm.
how did you
Mhm.
feel about that kind of story being told in this? Even though the tone is a lot more comical than Logan, it's not as serious, but I kind
Mm-hmm.
of feel like there's a lot of similarities between those two.
I appreciated that because I often say, if you had powers, what would you do? Would you be a hero or would you be a
Yeah.
villain? Like, would you actually go out and do any of these things? I think more of it like when Gen V or the boys, because they just, some people got power, they're not trying to use their powers for anything. They just want to exist. But based on the job that he has, which is similar to Jessica Jones, he's a private investigator. So he gets hired to go and do different things, and then his abilities come in handy for him. So he kind of used them until he actually needed them. So I appreciated it showing that, and just as he said, with no powers, no responsibility.
Yeah.
So him having the powers, it does come with the responsibility, because at times, like I said, the police had been at that point the police had been overran by Silvermane. And it seemed as if the mayor was dirty, but it was just him trying to go against Silvermane, and he needed the police chief to assist him. But having the spider behind him kind of helped because within those 5 years, he had overran everything. And I guess my question to you, Ant, is Silvermane a comic book character? Because he kind of felt like Kingpin is similar to
Yeah.
me. Okay,
Sylvie,
gotcha.
He was in the
Sylvie,
animated series.
he was in the
Okay.
animated
See,
series.
I
Oh,
have to go back and watch that. I went back and
Yeah.
watched 97, I mean X-Men, the
Uh-huh.
original X-Men, but I need to go back and watch the Spider-Man series
I
as well.
believe Spider-Man the animated series is on Disney Plus, so all the
Yeah.
seasons. So definitely
Gotcha.
check it out. But Silvermane, there's two things. Silvermane was from the comic books, and Silvermane was not an Irishman. Silvermane was a Italian mob boss named Silvio Manfredi. And the funniest thing is, because Marvel did not want to get in trouble with the actual mafia, they did not use the word mafia in the comics back when Silvermane was introduced in the 60s. So he was the lead of the Maggia family. They didn't want to say, oh, he runs the mafia family. No, they just went with the Maggias. So yeah, and his whole thing with Silp in the comics is he's old and he wants to be young again. And his whole thing was he was looking for, I think it was the tablet of time, which they
Right. I
put
remember that
in
episode.
right in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't work out for him. So he becomes a human head on a cybernetic body. That's in the comic books. It goes left. And that gives him super strength, durability, and he lives for a long time. But he still has an old man head.
I thought his
Goldberg.
backstory was that Terrence Howard came up with it. I need some silver, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I was like,
That's a great
I'm sorry.
name. How to use it.
I was wrong. I was
No,
wrong.
that was
man.
perfect.
That was
good.
good.
But
That was
Jason
good.
claimed he's from Memphis, so like
Oh,
he probably was just
Hey,
like,
Jazz, I don't know why you keep playing with me like that. You need to stop playing with me like that. God doggone. You just went to church. Stop playing
"Come
with me.
on,
right.
man, come on, man."
Oh,
Come on, man.
and also the reason why he gets the name Silvermane is because of his hair. His hair
Mm-hmm.
prematurely turns white at a young age. So
Mm.
the rest of the his gang, they called him Silvermane.
Gotcha.
And
Terrence Silver,
from that
man.
Terrence Howard, look at him. You
I
look like
do, but I
Silvermane.
really appreciated his character because
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he
so well
definitely commanded the screen whenever he came
Yeah.
on, and he was smart.
Yeah.
One thing that I didn't pick up on was him marking the bills. I'm like, what difference does it make if you're marking the bills? Like, what?
Because you need
But
to
then
know.
you kind of see how that story played out, which I guess that was kind of like the mystery to
Yeah.
it because um
The
Ben got
mystery was
hired.
Who's
about
spending the
Addison.
money?
I'm gonna say, yeah, no, not that part, but no, Ben got hired. He kept getting hired by both sides to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on because he was trying to figure out who was the one that was playing Silvermane.
Yeah.
And then he fell in love with the person
That
in the
was, yeah,
midst
you're
of
right.
it, which
Right.
then becomes him trying to help her out of the situation, which ends up
Yeah.
getting Winston in this situation killed because he was played, which I do love the way, I think that was episode 4. I do love the way episode 4 ended.
Mhm.
Because he goes in Silvermane's house, he steals the money, but he made sure he steal the money that was
He
marked the same exact way. And I was
he
like, this
Yeah.
nigga,
he
he
took the
actually smart.
exact bills that and it took me a second to figure out what he was doing. I was like, why is he getting that money so slow? Yeah, and can I just say real quick that I feel like they explained the concept of marked bills way better than any TV show or movie I've ever seen. You hear that word all the time. These bills are marked. These bills are marked. And I'm like, whatever that means. Okay, I mean, you just write
Yeah.
down the serial number or something. But they
Right. Make
explained
him
it in a
trace.
way better way, in my opinion. But it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
Yeah.
with how he did it. But then, like I said, that in that scene there, it's like, what's gonna happen? So of course, like I said, he shoots Winston, but then he asks Ben, he said, "How are you with digging up graves? Mine already went back to Euphoria." I'm like, "Oh shit, what's fit to happen?" But he said, "Cause you're gonna have to dig another one," and he shot the gun. Now I thought he would have shot. I thought he shot Grace. Well, I thought he shot Cat initially, and I was like, man, I said they turning this show up. within this, but I wanted to ask Jazz. So with this show, it was all dropped at one time. Do you think this is a show that could have gone week to week episodically?
Yes, I absolutely think this could have been a solid series that you could have dropped weekly. And it was 8 episodes, so I think you definitely could have dropped maybe the first three that first week, and then after that, one episode the following weeks. I think
Gotcha.
they could have benefited from that because like there's a lot of stuff on TV. You're going into summer and you got movies and stuff. So I'm just thinking to myself, with me dropping a series like this, then you have, well, X-Men don't matter then because that's Disney Plus. But like right now, I don't know if Prime has a series coming out in June. So I would have definitely extended this to the end of June, in my opinion, because you just had The Boys
Mhm.
finish, and then you
Yeah.
bring in Black Noir, like you kind of holding it down for at least 2 to 3 months show wise. But I definitely think it'll work because, like, with us, I mean, because we talk about shows that we're watching on a weekly basis, we're having those conversations and we're seeing other people having those on social media to where it's just like, okay, with us having these conversations, the show is being talked about over a span of time. I
Mm-hmm.
think Nemesis could have benefited from that. I think Men on Fire could have benefited from that. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
watching something in 2 days, you talk about it for 48 to 72 hours, then you're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Euphoria, Euphoria would not be talked about right now if it would have dropped all 8 episodes 2 months
At
ago.
one time. Yeah.
So, and it's just, I know people just like, oh, I'm gonna wait till it's finished so then I can binge it. But you have a nice amount of people that enjoy watching things on a weekly basis because they can talk about it with people online and we're all reacting to it at the same time. So,
Got you. Chris, I'm gonna ask you the same question, but I do have a second question to follow up with you.
Okay, for the first question, I feel like the technical answer is it all depends on if there's a Spider-Man movie about to come out, which this year there is, and they
Mm,
definitely wanted to get that out and done
before.
before the Spider-Man. I don't think Sony wanted that series and the Spider-Man movie to cross in the timeline, and but maybe if
Ooh, the
they would
web
have
of the web.
released it a little sooner, or I don't know how long it took to wrap, but I guess that would have been perfect, like to lead into the next Spider-Man movie. But I know for sure the short answer has to be they didn't want this series to be in the middle of its season when that movie comes out. So that's because I've seen that too many times. We can't let Smallville have Bruce Wayne, even though you wrote an awesome script where Bruce Wayne befriends Lex Luthor and he doesn't like Clark in that series because a Batman movie is about to come out. Like little technical things like that happen all the
Mm,
time. So I knew that I was hoping that it was going to be weekly because when I got the message that I could collab with you now, I assumed it was going to be weekly. But then when I turned Amazon on, I saw that it was all. I said, "Oh my God, I got to catch up. I got to do I had to cram for my homework." I was like, "Oh my God,
and what's
black and white.
crazy,
Oh man, I have to
it's
figure it
crazy
out."
because Brand New Day had to be because you still had Daredevil and you had the Punisher series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they had to think about that to where it's just like, okay, Prime had to think, okay, this the movie drops in July,
Mm,
but
Yeah.
then you have the Disney projects
mm,
that's dropping around the same time. So it's just like if you think about we kind of be getting a lot of Spider-Man related and Spider-Man projects within
Mm-hmm.
a matter of 3 months. And
Yeah.
that seems like a lot to cram in, or I'm gonna say four because Daredevil after the first 3 episodes was dropping weekly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, I definitely that makes a lot of sense. I don't know when, but Spider-Man drops at the end of July, does it
June.
July.
not?
So the movie
Is it the
comes
end
out
of
in
June?
July. I was gonna say your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man comes back at the end of this month.
That was I was just about to ask you that question. When is
It
that
comes
cartoon
back
coming back?
at the end of
July
June, if I'm not
29th or
no, you
30th.
talking about the movie comes out
The
July
movie.
Comes out in
Oh yeah,
July,
Mo-
June
but I'm talking
30th.
about the
June
friendly
30th.
neighborhood Spider-Man.
It's whatever the last Saturday in June is, if I'm not
I think
Okay.
mistaken.
it's the 27th or the 30th. I don't remember.
Friendly. I was because I was
I'm
literally
good.
looking it up
27th.
myself.
Yeah, whatever
The
that is, that's
27th.
because it comes
The
out.
So-
So this,
So
it's
wait,
gonna be.
so Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that cartoon season 2 is gonna come out
Oh yeah,
and bleed
Mhm.
into
It is.
uh
brand new day, but it's
Brand New
not going to
Day.
be connected.
Oh
It's
no,
not
it's not,
supposed.
but that
But
It's
throws
a
the
yeah,
lot
whole
of
thing.
Spider-Man content in a
Yeah,
like a
that
Yeah,
short
this
pretty
is
3
nothing
much.
months.
new though. Yeah, but
yeah,
this is nothing new. This happened when
yeah,
we got Homecoming. Because
yeah.
while Homecoming was about to hit, Spectacular Spider-Man was they re-released it on
Mhm.
air, and then they released not just Spectacular Spider-Man, but Spider-Man on that was airing on Disney.
Mhm.
I don't know if y'all remember that one. That was a
I
really
wonder
good
if it
one.
doesn't matter because that's animated and
Yeah,
since Spider Noir is
animation.
live action, they don't want people to be like to think this has anything to
To
do
try
with
to
the
have a
Right,
movie.
connection.
Because
That makes
because when it's a
sense.
cartoon, it's like we know this probably doesn't have anything to do
right.
with the movie. So maybe that's the answer. I don't know.
And I
Which
think
I
is
it's
don't know
great.
Also,
if that was your second question or
it was not. I
oh,
haven't asked
oh,
it yet.
okay.
Oh, so my
yeah, and
second
they
question.
can't even call it Spider-Man Noir at all.
Yeah.
That's the deal. It cannot be called Spider-Man Noir. That's why they had to call him Ben Reilly and not
And
Peter Parker.
the
Mm.
spider instead of Spider-Man because they don't since it's live
Mhm.
action, they don't want it
Mm.
to be confused with
Yeah,
any other live action. Yeah.
So that
that
actually
was the
makes me
deal.
think. That makes me think about what's going to happen with the Batman whenever they end up. Or if they're going to have two Batmans, or is it going to be one? I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about it now, and it's a good
No, yeah.
theory because you're going to have two live action Spider-Man same year. That's running simultaneously. So that's going to be
Oh no,
interesting to
James
see.
Gunn answered that question. I mean, the Batman is a else. He has an Elseworld. There's DCU,
Yeah,
and then there's an Elseworld. So
Yeah.
he's already talked about that. Yeah. So
and I'm
he
But
will
Some
glad
have
he
two
played
folks
Batman.
faces.
some folks don't like that.
but
No.
my question for you, Chris, was what are your top five superheroes, no matter the universe?
Spawn,
Mm,
uh, Spider-Man. Top five. Let's see. Wait, Spawn, Spider-Man, who? Black Panther. My
mhm.
man right here. You said heroes, right?
If you want to throw some other people in there, that's fine.
I mean, I mean, I guess to him he's considered. I'm gonna say Magneto.
Okay.
Magneto was
He thinks
right.
he's doing good.
He
I'm
was
like,
definitely right.
Magneto was
Sometimes.
right
Magneto was right. Yeah.
all the time.
Not when he got doggone it caught all
Jason,
the
you be worrying
mutants.
you be worrying about
He
the
caught
wrong people
he
sometimes.
caught all the mutants and held them in prison camps.
Was it what side was they on?
Not
Well, no,
his.
yeah,
Exactly.
That
constantly
mean they
blaming.
was on the
I
wrong
gotta blame the
side
victim. What
then.
did they
Side.
do though?
They went against him, Chris. That you
Jazz
got to
like to
get
hear
your lick.
everybody. Jazz like to hear everybody out. See, no, we ain't
Oh,
got
but
time for
I
that.
don't know if I think I did four. Maybe I said yeah. Spawn, Spider-Man. What did I say?
Black
Black
Magneto,
Panther.
Panther, Magneto.
Mhm.
Black Panther. I guess we're sticking just comic book, right? I mean,
It don't
there's
matter. No
no
matter the
character.
universe, you can. Don't matter. Just your
Uh,
top five.
I, I, I guess in the only I guess Batman. I was about to say another one. I guess I'm gonna have to just go with Batman because that's I got core memories with Batman. So yeah,
Got
Yeah.
you. Got you. I know it's on the spot. I was just curious because
yeah,
we
that's my
all
that would be my top five. Yeah,
got you. Got you. I like it.
no,
I
in
like
no
it.
particular order, but by the
No,
way, but yeah.
Mhm.
perfectly fine.
Spawn
Perfectly
came out quick, so I'm assuming that's your number one,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
I get
that's
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
That's the only one that's the
Zero
yeah,
hesitation
yeah,
was there. I said, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because Spawn is my favorite hero.
there
So
you go.
yeah. You got some
Nothing like
taste. You
hearing
got
a
some taste.
nothing like hearing a black man that
Like,
got burnt yelling Wanda for
Right,
all the time.
Anthony.
It's weird, but
Wanda.
it's weird for me because that's my aunt's name. I'm like,
Wanda, you burning niggas up? You sending them to
you
hell?
got the boy, you got the man burnt.
should have put him in Is God Is. But
Oh, wow. Kill your daddy.
Mm.
Jason.
Be more careful.
um so within this, like I said, he is Ben is kind of fighting on both sides. He's playing both sides.
Yeah.
Until he's unable to play both sides anymore. And then of course, like I said, he finds out that there is they make a cure from his, I think, the blood in his liver,
Mhm.
which can reverse whatever the person is at that point. And this is when they used it on Lunny, and this was like the first time they figure out that you can change a person. But of course,
Up,
he's gonna have.
but
Go
they
ahead, go
they
ahead.
used it on Freckles first. Remember, his mom
Ogden,
used it on
Oh
him.
yeah, his mom
Ogden,
did.
Ogden.
Yeah,
Um,
they
so
used him
that's
first.
but they just got blown up, and that was just the end of them, huh?
It was
Yeah,
Yeah,
dead.
they were
They
dead.
had one job. One job.
Well, they beat the mama. And Freckles
She deserved
tried.
it.
He really
He got
tried.
shot. I
Well,
think he got shocked to death, or maybe she got
yeah.
shot. One of them got shocked to death.
yeah, he got shot, yeah. And
Hmm.
then but
Oh.
yeah, but Freckles should have. I mean, at the end, Freckles should have listened to his mom. She was like, "No, we gotta go. We gone. We gone. We
Yeah.
got."
Pack your
And
shit.
they would
Let's
have
go.
lived. They'd have just.
He would have. He was trying to do the right thing because he
Right
said, "I
thing.
don't want to be. I want
Yeah.
to
I
try
don't
to
want to be
save
like you.
people."
But
Right.
also,
So
I want to return the favor. This man saved me. I need to
right.
save him.
I was about to say, oh, wait. So he turned into King Louis from the Jungle Book. I want to be. Oh, never mind. No.
Oh, no. No. Oh,
Chris is not here for Freckles. Obviously, Chris would have said
no.
deuces. Yo, Chris
Oh
would have
man.
been Ben was just like, so you're just gonna leave and just let me die?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Get out of my door.
I'm
That's
already
how Ben
swinging
said that.
in the middle of your sentence.
What'd you say?
I can't hear you after all this wind in my face. I'm already
That's
gone.
crazy.
Oh, man. But also, and I know we going in one direction, but I just wanted to say also about Ben's strength. He is also a drunk. So
That he
Yes.
that
is.
does
That he
play
is.
on his strength as well, because he is strong. Because you saw what he did to a certain Flint Marco with 2 cars.
Yeah,
And
he's-
I like that too.
That's
He
true. So
did.
he did pick
So
up a car.
He did
yeah.
pick up a car.
he didn't
God,
pick
but
him up,
because
he
he-
just web
yeah.
him in.
I mean,
He-
I counted.
Okay. Somewhere
So-
there was some air. That was
Jazz,
some
what?
I was struggled.
So, Jazz, what was your favorite fight scene?
Ooh. So, that's a really good question. I think it might have been where he got his ass whooped, but he was going up against
Mhm.
what was his Shock? What was his name?
Oh,
Lay-
Megawatt.
Megavolt.
Layden.
Megawatt.
Layden, but
Megawatt. I like when he was going against Megawatt and Sandman, even though he was getting his ass beat. But
I still
he was
don't understand why
trying.
they didn't call him
He was
Electro.
trying. And I
Mhm.
get it. And like when he did the whole 2 cars, it reminded me of Toby trying to use his webs to stop the train.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
yeah.
immediately went to that scene. I was just like,
Yeah, it
okay,
was a
so like,
callback, yeah.
yeah. So seeing the callbacks in this series, I was like, it made me feel like a true Spider-Man fan because I was like, oh, I caught
Aw.
that. I caught that. Then I saw the spiders. I said, all right, y'all doing the
Oh
most.
yeah, I forgot. Jazz is
Don't
definitely
do it.
afraid of spiders.
Yeah,
Arachnophobia.
Anthony. I'm
Mhm.
glad. Everybody don't need to know. Everybody don't need to know. But
Anthony,
yes.
what was your favorite fight scene, Anthony?
Oh, my favorite was the bar.
Yes,
The
that was
bar
my favorite.
when he told him, well, maybe the spider's just a normal guy who's going through some things, and they just look at him like
They laugh at
just
his
bust
ass.
out laugh. But I love that fight, and because it was just so. Even though it's a guy who could spin webs from his wrist and he could cling to the wall, it felt like a grounded fight. The way he is not as agile as, say, the Spider-Man we all know and love. He is a kind of bumbling through it all.
I think you
You
explained
know.
it because when he drinks, it maybe
Yeah.
nulls his powers a little bit.
And
And
he's
he was
just
petty.
very petty.
Like
Very.
he said, let me go change my clothes, get in my suit, and come back here and fight these people that was laughing at me. I'm like,
Mhm.
Ben, come on now. But he
I
wasn't your
thought-
average hero.
No, he wasn't. He's hard. He's what they considered back in the day hard boiled. And I really thought one of them hooligans would have went, nigga, we know it's you.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they were just trying
Petty
to throw them.
neighborhood Spider-Man.
They were trying to throw them hands. The Jazz, did you catch the get over here in this scene?
Mm.
Oh, so I got it in this movie and not Mortal. Oh no, I got it in Mortal Kombat. Sorry. Disregard that shade. No, I didn't catch it in
Oh.
this.
I text
Yeah,
you.
in the bar scene.
Yeah, he grazed it.
This nigga,
He said,
I text you,
"Get
Jazz."
Get over here.
I didn't tell you what it was. I just said there's an Easter egg for you in this
Mm-hmm.
episode.
So that could have been another one because there
It
is
could have been.
also a Easter egg in this. And I was going to ask you, did you see a familiar face that we gave praise to last year in a very solid horror movie? No, you do not remember. So I'm going to say the Easter egg for anybody who has saw the movie Weapons. The familiar face was Frankie. He also played Alex in Weapons that released last year. But you got more dialogue from him and
Oh,
more
that was the
comedic.
kid.
That was the kid. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
when I looked at him,
I did not
I
know
said
that.
my mind said this is this is Uncle Ben. His name is Frankie though. My mind I was just putting some shit together. I said this is Uncle I said this is Frankie. This is Uncle Ben's dad. And he's gonna name his kid Ben, and that's gonna be Peter Parker's uncle. That I just did
Frankie
Oh,
was
okay.
awesome.
I just did some shit.
Frankie
I just
was
did
hilariously
You can
awesome.
still
he
be
was
right
good.
though in that. So it's just like we was looking at the same actor, but you were looking at his future story within the Spider-Man universe, and I was looking like, that's the little nigga from
He
Weapons
was
that was
good though.
feeding his book. Yeah, he was really good. I enjoyed him.
It was good. Chris, what about you? What was your favorite fight scene?
I'm trying to remember who he was fighting now. The couple that was in his old apartment where he hid his
Yeah.
suit. I
Uh-huh.
remember seeing them again in
At
the
the end, that
street.
was on the last
At the
episode.
end, the big fight
The big fight
Was
at the end. That was them.
with Sandman and Megawatt.
you should, I
Mm.
couldn't. Oh no, it was. I believe they were probably there because I think I was saying I wish they were in every episode now, but no, it was an episode where she was like complimenting him throughout
That
the
was it.
fight. But that was the
Yeah.
that was the
That
was
was
that
the
the last
last
episode?
fight.
It looked that fight looks very similar to the first time he fought Megawatt. And it looks similar, but it's not the same. It's not the same one because
Yeah, because he
I'm
fought
thinking-
Megawatt in the street the
Because he
first
got his
time.
ass- he got
I'm
his
thinking it
ass
was
beat.
when he fought Megawatt the first time in the street, and that was when the couple was there because she was being overly
He got
complimenting.
he got his ass beat in that one, so she couldn't have complimented nothing in that one. Remember,
Yeah,
he got knocked out at the end.
No,
He was
because,
passed
but
out.
I remember him saying that. But the guy was like, "Well, yeah," because I remember the guy saying that, like, he can't be that great. Look at it, he's messing, he's effing up, and then he
Right.
kind of. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. But I guess maybe that is my favorite one. I was worried about this question because I was wondering if anybody was going to say the bar was their favorite because that was my least favorite fight scene because
Oh,
it took me
I
out.
loved it.
The second
Mhm.
I was mad, I remember I had to pause it. I was like, because I said the same thing that you said. Like, come on, man, we know how you gonna make that scene and say maybe he almost called them a bitch. Shut up, like he was getting mad. I was like, well, for one, why you getting so emotional about the spider? So for one, you don't know him, do you? And then you leave literally for less than 10 seconds, and then the spider shows up with the wearing the same tie. I was like, come on, man. I'm like, I was like, there was no way you got to kill these dudes now. There's no way they're not gonna tell. I think it's that. So the only reason why I feel like that scene is saved is because I am sure that the bartender knows he's Spider-Man because if
Mhm.
he just blabs his secret when when he's drunk.
When he gets drunk,
When he's
yes.
drunk,
Love them scenes too. I
that
love those
that
scenes.
bartender did not seem that surprised that Spider-Man showed
No.
up, in my opinion.
Here
And the
go
way
Ben
he shook his
again.
head, like, okay,
And I'm
this is
thinking
what
that
we
was a
do.
nod to like you can trust your barber and your bartender, you like spill your secrets to. I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe just maybe that bartender is gonna in the future go, yeah, man, I've been knowing you as Spider-Man. Look, and
Full
just
of
give him a
Janet.
drink. Yeah,
Yep.
you're my best customer. But I think the fight with in the street with Megawatt. I think that would be my favorite, only because of the comedy in the background with the couple talking
Yeah.
and the wife being a little extra thirsty and husband being insecure about it because of his like, you don't think he's more handsome than me, do you? I can swing from the ceilings too, babe. Like he was trying to save his marriage during that fight.
He was fighting for his life
Now
while
he got
Spider-Man was
now he got to go
I
fight
think
Spider-Man.
so.
Right.
That's my favorite
Yep.
fight scene, the fight for his marriage. that guy.
The other
two
the,
I
fights
gotta
in there.
keep her. I gotta keep her.
the only
Jason,
other
what was your
person.
favorite?
Oh, it was the bar. It was the bar.
Okay,
That was my
okay.
favorite. The only other thing that I did want to bring up was, well, the only person I feel like we didn't really show love to was Janet's character.
Hmm.
I felt as if she had a good journey within this story as well.
She was the perfect
Because
girl Friday.
yes, because when she quit the job, I felt so sad for her because I was like, bro, that was fucked up the way they did her when they went in and they put the gun to her. And she was like, I just can't do this anymore. And then, of course, Ben wasn't taking money for the jobs, he was giving the money back. And she was giving him great advice as to what to do, and she was going to ride for him every time
Hmm.
in those moments. So, Jay, what did you think of Janet's character?
I love Janet's character. I feel like she was gave a great balance to Ben and his antics.
Mm-hmm.
And, with him saying, we need this money, but you keep giving the money back to every job we got. She just like, look, you ain't paid me in months. Like, what's going on? And then, of course, when Kat came in, she was just like, yeah, we need that $50 retainer. And so she's just like, we have a business we have to run. While Ben is just drinking with people and not really seeing the main priority in front of him.
Hmm.
So I absolutely loved her character. I'm glad she was able to survive through this because they was definitely killing people off. But which is cool because like when you see a superhero project like this, because I don't know another Spider-Man that don't mind taking or collecting bodies. And Jason, we've had conversations. I love a good hero that will let people die. You sit up here and be like, oh, you can't let people die. Yeah, fuck out of here. But I enjoyed it. Because even when a scientist was about to cut him open, he was like, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, Ben, have that energy for her because she is slicing you up and spiders are coming out of your body.
That's it. That's it. That's why I don't think he was as strong as Peter Parker because you wouldn't be able to hold Peter. He was drugged up, but
He
I
was
felt
drugged
as
up.
if he would have still been able to get out of that
Hmm.
if he was actually strong. That's just my opinion in
Yeah.
that.
And plus the spiders coming out was the fever dream
Yeah,
from
yeah.
getting doped up so damn much.
Allegedly.
But
They could say that. They
He's
could
on
have
the poppy seeds.
right. They could have
yep.
said that scene. But Jason, I got a question for you because I know Spider-Man is one of your top heroes. This
Definitely he's
series
number two.
does it. All right, nigga. We ain't gonna ask you who number one is, but does this show story feel like a Spider-Man story to you?
Um, it does. It just seemed like it was set in a different era. It definitely feels like a Spider-Man. He now I keep going back to Into the Spider-Verse because I believe Nick Cage does do the voice
Yes.
Uh-huh.
in the animated, so I think that's why
Yep.
they end up using him for this. But
No one else better.
this is an older version of him. So him use being an older version, I knew he wasn't going to do all the flipping and the agile things that you may see a not Toby, but what's
Tom
the name?
Zendaya
Holland.
husband.
Tom Holland. Yes, Zendaya
Give that
husband.
man his name, Jazz. Come on now. Give that man his name.
So you wanted them to see. So I was very interested in seeing a different version, but I definitely think Nick Cage landed perfectly in this role because he fit that. Like I said, he fit the era. The quips was perfect. Like just seeing because the thing with Peter Parker or Spider Man, they are always struggling with the the responsibility of the role in their life and
Hmm.
just being able to do it. He was willing to give up everything for this woman. So I really think he did a great job in this role. I would like to see a season two. Like I said, if we can get that, I would like to see it. But if it ended now, I still would be happy because I seen a different iteration of
Yeah.
Spider-Man in a different area. Like I said, because if anything, I would have liked to see a younger version of because he older than my parents. Nick Cage is. So seeing someone like in their 30s, I think or in their
Hmm.
40s, I think that would have done, because you could have did a little bit more with that character. But I mean, seeing
Yeah.
him be an older version of it is actually pretty dope as well, though. So yeah, I
But I'm
appreciate them
assuming
doing
that
it.
Nick Cage, even though he's like what in his 60s in real life, I
Like
assume
62,
that
63.
Ben Reilly was in his 40s because everybody else, even though the other soldiers that he rescued were in their
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that
exactly.
he was just a higher ranking, more experienced officer at during that rescue, and maybe he was like 10 years old. Am I wrong about that? Is Spider Noir
No.
in his
In
40s?
Spider-Man Noir, he's a little older. He's not in his 20s. I think he's in his 30s. Well, back in the 1930s, you in your 30s, you're basically in your
Basically
50s or
in your
60s.
60s, yeah. But
Yeah,
everybody
you
else was
pretty
in their
much.
30s, but
Yeah.
I feel like Ben Reilly was in his 40s.
Mm.
That's kind of.
And also keep in mind, Ben Reilly is not his real name.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did say he changed it. So maybe
He
Peter was
changed
his
his
name.
name. And I think it's Peter Parker, but they can't say Peter
They just
Parker
can't use it.
because of the situation.
Yeah.
So, I my only gripe is Megawatt. Not the actor, not the way he played it, not even the power set. Why y'all didn't call him Electro? That pissed
I
me
was
off.
okay. I didn't know if that was the same person, and I didn't want to assume. I was like, I was going to research.
Mm-hmm.
I never got to actually sit down and research it, but I was like, maybe Megawatt is somebody different,
Or a
and
mix
from
between the
Electro.
Shocker and Electro kind of a thing, or
Well, but
Mm.
Shaka was more on
by
vibration,
sounds and stuff.
and vibrations, right? So I don't know why
Isn't
they
there a
didn't use
voltage?
Electro.
Is there
Um,
voltage guy or
no,
something? Like
Livewire is
live?
Superman.
Oh, that's Superman.
Mm.
No, they should have
Mm.
called him Electro because he's not even Max Dillon. He's Leighton. His name is Leighton. I forgot his last name. So I just sat there and I said, why y'all just didn't? And also, please keep in mind, they didn't call them by their names.
Right.
Megawatt was the only one who said, I'm giving myself a name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
you
he
can
named
call me
Sandman.
Megawatt. You know, and even with Tombstone, I get it. It came from, the animals that they were doing the genetics testing on. But I really, really, really wanted to see Lonnie turn pale white.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
really wanted that at first. And then I said Jazz would not agree with that. So they understand Jazz's need more than people who understand the assignment. Give her,
How
give
would
her
that
a
have
shocker
looked in
dropper.
black and white, Anthony?
Oh, that would have looked sick. I
A
think it would have
black
looked
man looking
sick.
white. Yeah, I mean
Right.
Oh God.
To my
but I
He,
mean,
tombstone.
but for
Yeah.
season two, I think if they want to go back to the well of this
yeah.
and give the proper name, I mean, they've already proven that the failed experiment has
Mm-hmm.
to go through a human to be a failure first, and then can be transferred to another person
Another
to be a
human in order for it to
success.
work.
So that
Yeah.
might lend it into to Tombstone and
Yeah.
Livewire and all that stuff. Not
Because
Livewire,
he's cured.
Electro. I mean
Megawatt.
Electro. But if they recreate the experiment and figure out
Well,
that it works with the way it worked with Spider-Man, they could figure
mhm.
out how to make it work with all the other characters.
Well, Megawatt is a part of a subway now. So I don't know.
An electric subway.
An electric subway, mind you. So again, I thought that was the craziest death in this whole thing. I did love the fact that he was taking Flint's hand and turning it into
I
glass.
loved it. I loved
That
it.
was dope as hell. But when Ben caught him and flung his ass, I was like, oh, he's just gonna fling him across. Oh no, he's gone. He's
It's
dead.
like a bug zapper.
Yep.
Mm.
That's what it looked like.
Did
Yeah.
anybody else
And
catch
he's
that other
dead.
nod? I remember you were talking about the nods to the other Spider-Man. So when that flashback of him being drunk and telling his secret to his assistant, the one hand on the ceiling, Andrew
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garfield
Yep.
From
getting the
No Way
cobwebs off.
Home. Get the
And he did
cobweb
it
out the
under the
corner.
bridge. He
Yeah.
did it under the
Yeah,
bridge
he
too.
did.
You know, but
um,
also his turn of being the spider.
Mhm,
It's completely Peter Parker Gwen Stacy moment,
mhm,
but Pete stays as Spider-Man. He knows he has to continue as Spider-Man, even with the death of his most beloved, his beloved, right?
right.
Ben, on the other hand, loses his lady love. And it's like, I don't want this. I don't even want to do this no more. I'm turning to the bottle. Because remember, he was about to white picket fence and not like Alamo Brown have full of, cocoa butter
I
children.
immediately, I
But
immediately thought of Alamo.
he
But
wasn't gonna do the American dream, but he was happy. And 9 out of 10, he was happy being the spider because of the woman he was with, his wife or
fiance.
fiance.
Yeah.
And when she dies, and again, it kind of reminds me Spider-Man as well as Superman, they run parallel. When Clark Kent loses Jonathan Kent, I have all this power and I couldn't save him.
Mm.
Spider-Man, on the other hand, I got all this power and I let the man who killed my uncle just run. Ben, my girl is drowning, but she's so far gone, I can't swim fast enough to grab her, and I have all this power. I think Ben didn't realize spiders don't swim.
Right.
But again, you have this power. Your responsibility is to save and protect, and you couldn't do it for the one you love.
Yeah.
So why
And
the hell am I still doing this?
he's doing it for people that he doesn't know, so strangers.
Yeah,
So he definitely chose
I'm.
hoes over heroism, excuse me.
Oh
So
damn! Wow.
I'm, am I lying?
It's over
No, you're
hoes,
not
over
lying.
honeys.
So
um,
I mean
but
that line that he said to Hardy at the end about
Ooh,
you still trying to keep me on the hook. I see, huh? You're trying to.
ooh.
Like, I thought that was a brilliant line. He just called out right there on the spot. Like I was like, why? Because the second she said, "Hey Flint, can I have a private conversation with you real quick?" I'm like, she about to say some slick stuff right now. She about to
Yep.
get slick. Like
listen,
I
she was
really
like
appreciate
passing the
you.
phone number. This is my new number. Just call.
but
Yeah.
Nah, baby, we don't play that. Real pimping here.
it's safe to say Cat was definitely manipulating him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
now,
That's what
Jace,
manipulation looks like.
yes,
Manipulation. Yes.
if Cat was in obsession, now this would have been
But it
great.
wasn't. This
It,
is
it wasn't
this is
this.
not Nikki.
Nah,
Yeah.
she
No.
she was
Ben,
10 to
yeah.
1.
Ben was like, black spiders don't cheat. That's right.
Oh, oh, burn.
She knew what her powers were, and she was using them for
Okay.
evil. She
But you
But
was
know what?
using them for evil.
That is a
what
callback to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man after
Yeah.
the first one, when he walked away from Mary Jane from MJ. That is a callback. I mean, now Toby did it a little bit sweeter. Look, my life, I can't do this for you. We're friends. Give me a pound. Peace, nigga. I'm out.
Mhm.
No. Ben Reilly said, bitch, don't play me.
He was
Fool
like
me
he
once.
was like Chris Tucker from the first Friday movie. Oh, you messing with Sandman too? Talking to
Oh,
Felicia.
yeah, he was done.
She was Felicia Hardy, right?
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
listen, listen.
Now you got to
Cat
go with the
Cat
one arm guy with the cocoa butter skin now. Bye.
Mm.
Cat was choosing love. But one thing I feel like one last thing that I don't think we were able to pretty much touch on is the cinematography in this.
Mhm.
Yes,
Because I
yes.
know that I would assume everybody watched it in black and white, so we'll just focus on that. Visually, how did you feel about the cinematography on the setting, the visuals, the like costume design, and then like the action and fight scenes? Jason, I'm gonna go to you with this question first.
Got you. Loved it. From, like I said, watching it in black and white, but also watching it in color. I understand why. If you watch it in color, it's a lot of colors, a lot of bright colors, and that
Mhm.
kind of help. That allows you to actually have that gradient color, that contrast that you see in black and white. So it makes sense. And I do appreciate Nick Cage's call out to say, please do it in color, because a lot of these kids won't understand if you leave it like this. So we won't get all the people if you don't watch it like this. So I appreciate it, because when you watch it in color, it looks beautiful. It looks stunning, just how everything is played out. But if you watch it in black and white, it still is a stunning thing. It still is a stunning show. And just how the shadowing, the
That
angles, the
part.
different things, they do a great job with it. My only critique, and like I said, is slight, and then maybe in TV, I was curious how web swinging would look. That wasn't the coolest looking thing, but when he hit the wall and kind of crawled on walls, I thought that was super dope to see how he hit the
Mhm.
walls and just how he did those different things, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony, how was it for you?
I watched it both. I watched black and white and in color, because I'm equal opportunity. Um, Color saturation was out of this world. I love the fact his webs were black.
Yeah.
All
They
back to the
weren't
full
white.
comic book.
Exactly. If we going noir, we going full noir. We ain't playing games. It's we going all the way black or no black at all. But when I looked at it in color, I was almost taken aback because the way the saturation looked, it looked like it was colorized. I don't know if y'all remember when Ted Turner had all them old black and white films and started colorizing them
Mhm.
and adding the Technicolor
Technicolor.
palette to them, and they would have this really strange, like really strong reds and really deep blacks, and it just looked like somebody took a Crayola and just colored each film cell.
Mm.
That's what it felt like, and it made me enjoy it. But when I got to watch it in black and white, it felt like I was just watching an old crime movie from the 1930s and 40s. Like Jason said, the shadows, just like everything just felt right. Like I noticed there was, noise in each scene, and when they would fade or do a wipe, you could see the grain of it. It wasn't clean. Everything, it just looked like, oh, this really did come out in 1934,
Right.
you know, and it just worked perfectly. Not a web swinging. I actually loved it because it was awkward. Because Ben is awkward. Ben is like, all right, just throw your arms, and all right, I my web is gonna catch on to something. But I thought it was just so well done. Do I want a season two? Hell yeah. If not, I can always go back and watch this as a one and done.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
Chris,
well,
what
it
about you?
was done well.
Chris,
I
what about you?
I feel like the first thing I appreciated about the cinematography was the director's choices of camera angles that made me it reminded me of a lot of like the scene of a dresser drawer being open and the camera being a bird's eye view at
Yes.
a tilted angle. I was like, that's exactly how they studied old movies for uh little shots like that. You could tell a lot of people did their homework on that stuff. And to go back on the previous point about putting it in color to because you're right, the kids would have been like, I don't want to watch this. I'm trying to convince a coworker to who's still in high school to watch an old movie called Clerks. It was made in the 90s, but it was in the black and white, and she's like, I'm never
Right.
gonna
I
watch that.
I seen that.
Yeah, even though the sense of humor
Gold
is
star for Jason.
right, Ghost. But I was like the black and white, but when you watch it in black and white, then you can get a person from the older generation who did watch those old westerns. Like my grandmother probably would maybe sit down and probably watch it if it was only in black and white. And then and then those bright colors, yeah, of course, the kids of today will be more interested in that. So I feel like there's a lot there that could get a lot of you're going to get the core Spider-Man fans. It's just in general. Then you can probably convince the older generation who are used to watching old westerns and stuff to watch it in black and white, and then of course the kids because it's Spider-Man, right? So there was a lot there, and the fact that they gave you a choice with black and white also made it feel interactive. So when I
Yeah.
watched it, I started episode one in color, and then I said no, let's watch episode two in black and white, and then I just kept going back and forth, and episode three in color. So I just went black and white color, black and white color, and my so that's how I watched. So which one was my favorite? They both they both had the best point the best I'm sorry parts. There was some scenes where I was like I could only see this in black and this when the scenes got darker, when the moments got tough, it felt appropriate that it was in black and white with the depression, the drama, the flashbacks, especially the flashbacks. The giant spider in black and white, it made it feel like a horror movie. So the horror aspect
Mhm.
was
Mm-hmm.
perfect. So
Yeah.
I love the cinematography. I thought they did an outstanding job. But when it was in color, I gotta say, it just kept giving me Smooth Criminal, NLE OK vibes. I was like that, especially that boss scene. I was thinking he was just gonna do that lean, that Michael Jackson lean. So
That'd have been crazy.
it gave me that Moonwalker vibe. So yeah, it was tight. I loved it.
Yeah. Jason, did you say your thoughts on the cinematography already?
I did. What
Okay.
about you?
I loved it. I definitely I thought both of them were beautiful, the color and the black and white, but I'm leaning more towards on the black and white for this. And I also want to say I love the fact of how they displayed his spidey senses. I absolutely
Mm.
love
Hmm.
that element within this series because it wasn't anything that he was able to depend on. It was more so, okay, it's happening, so something's about to come, but he wasn't sure exactly what was coming. And so I'm glad that they were able to put that element in there to where it wasn't a dependency for him, but more so, oh shit, okay, something's about to happen, but I'm not sure what is. So I definitely love how they did that. But Jason, was there anything else you wanted to discuss for this series before we ask the question as to why we are all here?
I had nothing. That's what I was heading to myself. So now I didn't
Oh,
have anything else.
all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and use my spidey web to go ahead and get us to the question why we are here. Chris, I'm going to start with you since you are a first time visitor on the Was It Good Though podcast. I'm asking you, the series, was it good though?
It was. It was good though. I if if I'm the type of guy, if I can watch it over and over and over again, which this I can, then I consider it a good show and something I'm going to definitely recommend to not just the people who are into these types of shows, but I can recommend this to people who probably don't even have never watched a Spider-Man cartoon or movie before. This could be a good was launch pad or jumping on point for some people who've never watched a Spider-Man cartoon or movie before. So I think it's good. It was good though.
For sure. Get some more people to join this Spider-Man cult. Go do
Mhm.
the Lord's work. Anthony, was it good though?
Yes, it was. Very much so. Hopefully there's a season two.
We
But
can
for 50
pray.
million an episode, oof,
They
I
gonna
don't know.
cut back a lot to where if it's
Oh
gonna be a
yeah.
lot of stuff that you see in the second season, you can be like, damn, this look a little low budget. No, that's just because they did too much in the first season. But this is the
First.
regular.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't use canned footage of him swinging through the town like it's the 1967 television show.
Those color options you got for season one will not be there for season two.
Nope. You better
Jason,
watch it in black and white and be happy.
Jason, was it good though?
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed this season. Nick Cage did his thing. We keep talking about a resurgence from Demi Moore, but Nick Cage has had a great resurgence with I know he's I think it I don't know if Longlegs started it, but I think that Pig movie was like the first time when it just kind of
Hmm.
changed things for him. And then of course he's just been in banger after banger after banger since then. So shout out to Nick Cage and the way he's coming back to the big screen because he was still acting on like small scale,
Yeah.
but now he's in
Hmm.
things that's like they put money behind him. So I'm happy that he's seeing
Yeah.
that again. Um, you know, so yeah, shout out to them, man.
Marvel, call him. We need another Ghost Rider.
We're not gonna call. We're not gonna call him for that.
No.
we gonna get that to my boy from
Yeah,
Project Hail Mary.
Ryan Gosling gonna be there. Yep,
Oh, Gosling?
be on
Oh,
fire.
I think the dude from Agents of Shield did a real good job though. I
Robbie
like him.
yeah.
Reyes, boy,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you're talking about, but yes,
Is it
yes, I
is his
love
name
that.
Diego Garcia? Was that his name? His right name? No, that's not his name. My
I don't
bad.
know his real name. I
I know
don't.
Robbie Reyes is the character,
It's the
but
character. He's real, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember his name.
I did love his character, and there were
I
Ada.
would love to see that version show up in the MCU when they
I
do
asked
Midnight Suns.
my wife a question I want to pose to you guys. If Nick Cage was never cast to be the voice of Spider-Noir, do you think he would have been in consideration to play this character
That's a
at
great
all?
No,
question. I don't think so
I
Mm,
don't
though.
think so
I
either.
don't think
no.
so.
I don't think
And
so.
so I'm glad.
I think that's what led to him being able.
Yeah.
Now, if anything, before we close this out, I know Shamik Moore mad as hell.
Let's not talk about him. Let's leave that creep show alone. But was it good though, Jazz? Yes, it
Wow.
was. I completely
Wow.
enjoyed this series. It was fun and it's a good time. Like Chris said, definitely worth rewatching. And what, like Anthony said, would love to see if we do get a season two. Hopefully we do, but we'll keep a lookout for that. And if we do, we'll have to bring y'all back on for the review for season two. Bars. But, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Chris, thank you so much. This was a very good time. Anthony, our brother from Talking Ish, a podcast amongst friends. I will definitely be sure to tag all of y'all stuff so people can check you out on your platforms, because what we do around here is we show love, support to our cult. Jason calls it a community, but I call it a cult. Anthony, you've been a member for over a year. What are you talking about? Chris, okay. I'll send you the email in 30 days to see how you're feeling.
Who's Nature Boy? And
well, that's Chris. But for everyone listening, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. I am one of your hosts. I am Jazz.
And I am Jason.
And this is the Was It Good Though podcast. Until next time, cheers.